Grand Rising, beautiful souls. All right, it's been a minute since the nudge to do a decode came. I barely watch TV, but since this rain here in Jersey is just killing the vibe, I found myself saying, all right, let's watch a little TV. I only have Roku Live because I really don't watch any TV anymore. It's programming, but you know. I was watching American Pickers, and they kept playing the same commercial over and over again. When that happens, it's like Source ringing a bell saying, hello, pay attention, look at me, look at me. So the commercial was for some show, 911 Nashville. You already know that number shows up a lot in my reality, and 113 is the number of the ladder house, and that number has been following me since I did the Pixar decode back in July. My TikTok's been wiped a few times since then. I believe the original decode's on my YouTube. My YouTube is here, so give it a subscribe if you feel called. There's a bunch of different things there that, you know, might interest or spark some wheels turning on your bus up here. But let's get into this one. Of course, once I clock it, I start asking questions. What am I looking at here? What's the message I need to deliver? There's a tie with the show and the whole 113. It's all subconscious code programming on us from childhood. They raised us on 113. Every Pixar movie slipped it in somewhere, a classroom, a license plate, a door. We were kids soaking up that code. Now we're grown up, scrolling through an adult programming, and the same number shows up on a 911 show. You think that's coincidence? Nope, that's frequency ping. Kids that were subconsciously programmed with 113 are now adults sitting down every week watching the same number attached to trauma, sirens, and fear. That's how conditioning loops work. You don't have to remember the code, your nervous system does. And if you trace it back, you'll see the pattern 113 in cartoons, then in disaster movies, now in an emergency TV show. Same signal, same faction, different skin. Rinse, recycle, repeat, over and over. But, you know, what if it's not random? What if that 113 was never about an inside joke, but a continuous mark, a way to track who's still plugged into the system? They trained our generation to associate 113 with something important. So when they drop it in again, we light up without even knowing why. That's an activation. That's recall programming. So yeah, Source wasn't being cute. It was saying, watch this, they're recycling the code right in front of you. If you see it, you see it. If not, keep watching your regularly scheduled programming. I'm not here to convince you, I'm here to decode it. 113 isn't just a number, it's a breadcrumb trail between the innocence they built and the fear they're selling now. So stay awake. All right. Up until that, say awake, that's the last word I typed in my app, and that was exactly 444 words, divinely guided, divinely protected. So, as I was typing and composing that verbiage, because I use an app to out everything that I just said, otherwise downloads are constantly coming into my brain. So as I was doing that, when I got do a Pixar 2.0 version for TikTok, but being a lot of my original stuff got flagged, that's why it's ended up on YouTube for the archive. I think I'm gonna be using code. I mean, if they could use code, I could use code too. So I'm going to make it like, hey TikTok, I'm having story time with my collective. This is all for entertainment purposes only. So with that being said, stay tuned and come back for the Pixar 2.0 version. Not ironic that I ended that on 420. Not ironic that I'm a garden chef from the Garden State. Once you start paying attention, you start seeing some cues, some signals, some breadcrumbs, and you start following that trail. It's like we're playing Hansel and Gretel out here following breadcrumbs. Come back for more.